Apple Loop, iPhone 18 design warning, new MacBook pricing, iPhone release date. Taking a look back at this week's news and headlines from throughout the Apple world, including the iPhone 18 design warning, iPhone camera disappointment, iPhone 17e delivery date, budget MacBook price, iOS 26 adoption rates, Apple's future CEO, and automated security upgrades. Although they may not have set sales figures alight, the design contest for slimline phones in 2025 will affect 2026. Foldable phones with their wide but thin form are the apparent winners, but all phones might be made lighter and smaller using similar techniques, which makes it fascinating when details about the iPhone 18 Pro show it is going to be heavier than the prior model. I get the argument. 10 grams sounds like nothing, and plenty of people will shrug and move on. Still, this is hardly a straightforward dispute about math. It is about distribution, balance, and fatigue. If Apple actually plans a heavier iPhone 18 Pro Max, it should justify it with evident wins. A bigger battery would help, but some already question if Apple will cross important battery milestones. Meanwhile, camera rumors and arguments never stop, especially surrounding telephoto gear and sensor choices. Apple is poised to allow the 200-megapixel cameras becoming ubiquitous in Android-powered flagships to be added to the iPhone, but not until 2028. That's the latest concept by analysts at Morgan Stanley, underscoring Apple's aim to have many suppliers of the components, presumably so the competition will bring down the cost for Apple. It will be the iPhone 21 that first obtains a 200-megapixel camera. This is mainly to ensure supplies are diverse, instead of depending on a single source. It's also, nevertheless, considered to be tied to how Apple intends to grow iPhone component production in the US. This accords with prior claims that say Samsung may build CMOS image sensors for the iPhone in its Austin, Texas facility. Apple has reportedly started manufacturing the new iPhone 17 model. The iPhone 17e will be the follow-up to last year's budget iPhone 16e that is, of course, affordable in Apple's perspective. For those who were used to the iPhone SE, the 16e was a somewhat pricey addition to the portfolio. How long will we have to wait to see if the price remains the same? Ryan Christoffel looks at the options for the iPhone 17e launch date. For a model like iPhone 17e, which isn't among Apple's greatest sellers, it's unknown just how long mass production may take. But for key models that arrive each fall, that process normally extends roughly 4 to 6 weeks. If iPhone 17e follows a similar path, commencing manufacturing in mid-January might indicate a late February launch. That would be just around the time iPhone 16e arrived last year, as it launched on February 28 following an announcement earlier in the month. The concept of an inexpensive 12-inch MacBook is gaining popularity online. One of the crucial issues for Apple is getting the pricing right, too low, and Apple ruins its image for superior hardware, too high, and the idea of a budget MacBook is lost. Iskra Petrova takes a look at the price window being discussed online. Rumor has it that this MacBook is going to come with an iPhone chip. The iPhone 16 Pro's A18 Pro CPU, to be exact. Reportedly, the device is going to have a starting price between $599 and $899 in the US, with most speculations being more convinced about either $699 or $799. Why are iOS 26 adoption rates low? StatCounter has been working to estimate the number of iPhones upgraded to the current version of the operating system. iOS 26 was introduced alongside the iPhone 17 series. Since then, it has been accessible for download, delivering new experiences, updated apps, and increased security. Other approaches are available, but they all reveal a considerable proportion of customers sticking with the earlier iOS 18 releases. Ryan Christoffel asks why. Apple doesn't reveal OS usage data very often, making third-party sources the best method to measure a software release's uptake. If these numbers are anywhere near correct, it begs the question, why are users holding off upgrading? Perhaps it's Apple's emphasis that battery life would be harmed, or its delay in making iOS 26 the recommended update in settings or reservations over the liquid glass design. Apple has been working over the last few months on ways to boost the acceptance rates of iOS releases. Some of these have been basic UI tweaks, others have tweaked default settings. The latest beta, labeled iOS 23, will allow for automatic security updates to happen in the background, prompted by Apple and not by consumers. David Phelan has more. Currently, Apple has to release a smaller update, such as iOS 26.00, say, or wait until the next bigger update is ready. With a system that seems to be almost ready, Apple can issue smaller, security-focused upgrades more quickly. And if you have automatically installed checked-in settings, then the patches arrive without you doing anything. Apple's steady as she goes CEO pick. The conversation regarding Apple's future CEO is muted but pervasive in the background. Callie Guang and Trip Mickle's profile of John Ternus, Apple's head of hardware engineering, comes with the fascinating comment that he would be the continuity candidate if he followed Tim Cook into the role. Mr. Ternus, 50, is the same age that Mr. Cook was when he took over for Steve Jobs in 2011. Like Mr. Cook, Mr. Ternus is known for his attention to detail and his grasp of Apple's huge supplier network. Both men are also considered even-tempered colleagues, capable of navigating the bureaucracy of one of the world's wealthiest firms without ruffling feathers. It will be up to Apple's board of directors to select who will eventually succeed Mr. Cook, who also sits on the board. The remainder of the company's 8 board members did not reply to requests for comment, and Apple declined to speak and to make Mr. Ternus available for an interview. And finally, Apple has numerous important staff members leave the firm during 2025 to work with various companies at the bleeding edge of innovation. The next to head out the door in 2026 that's worth highlighting is Marco Trevirio, lead designer of the Safari web browser. He has now joined the browser company, the developer of the Arc and Dia browsers. The move was announced by the browser company chief executive Josh Miller in a post on LinkedIn, marking the latest in a string of recruits from Apple's Safari design team. Miller underlined that Trevirio's presence implies the browser company has now attracted lead designers from every Safari design phase that overlapped with the development schedules of Arc and Dia, roughly spanning 2020 through 2025. Apple Loop offers you 7 days worth of highlights every weekend here on Forbes. Don't forget to follow me so you don't miss any coverage in the future. According to one report, the body of the iPhone 18 Pro Max will be slightly thicker than the iPhone 17 Pro Max, bringing the device's weight to roughly 243 grams. That would make the iPhone 18 Pro Max around 3 grams heavier than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is now the heaviest model Apple has created. We don't know the specific reason for the purported thicker design of the iPhone 18 Pro Max, but a larger battery is the most likely cause. Rumors continue to circulate regarding whether the iPhone 18 Pro versions will incorporate under-display Face ID, but reports remain divided on when the technology will really come. The innovation would place the true depth camera system beneath the display, eliminating the requirement for the existing dynamic island cutout. According to Wayne Ma of The Information, Apple is eyeing a design without a dynamic island, replacing it with a single pinhole camera in the upper left corner of the screen. However, other sources reject that claim. Display analyst Ross Young believes under-display Face ID is likely for the iPhone 18 Pro, but says a smaller dynamic island will still be present. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has echoed this opinion, claiming that the new models will include a slimmed-down dynamic island rather than deleting it totally. Apple is also rumored to be researching new camera shrinking technology to lower the size of the front-facing camera currently situated within the dynamic island. Meanwhile, Chinese leaker Instant Digital has supplied yet another version of events, suggesting the dynamic island will drop in size, but that under-display Face ID and camera technology won't come next year. Overall, the consensus implies Apple may be improving the dynamic island before fully switching to an all-screen design in future generations. The iPhone 18 Pro versions will employ Apple's A20 chip, based on TSMC 2nm technology for power and efficiency advantages. A transition to 2nm production boosts transistor density, which will enable higher performance. The A20 series is predicted to give around a 15% speed boost and about 30% higher efficiency compared with the A19 series utilized in Apple's iPhone 17 models. Apple's A20 chip will be packaged with TSMC's wafer-level multi-chip module technology, suggesting at least some A20 chips will have RAM integrated directly onto the same wafer as the CPU, GPU, and neural engine, rather than sitting adjacent to the chip and connected via a silicon interposer. This could lead to speedier performance for both overall workloads and Apple Intelligence and longer battery life from greater power efficiency. However, according to the Weibo-based account Instant Digital, Apple will eliminate the capacitive sensing layer and retain only pressure sensing identification in the second iteration to achieve full camera control functionalities on the iPhone 18. The reduced version is not about eliminating functionality in the button, but about saving money. The existing method is thought to be exceedingly expensive for Apple and is producing pricey after-sales repairs. So, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more tech news. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.